Hi guys, this is Warwick from Casual Chess, back for another 5-minute game today. I'll be playing black by the looks of it against an opponent from the Netherlands. Okay, he starts with e4, I'll play e5 and we'll go from there. My opponent plays f4, King's Gambit, and I really don't like the King's Gambit, I must say, so I'm going to ignore the fact that I've originally taken the Gambit there. And I'm going to play my knight from Nc6 up to e5. So as stated, I'm not particularly comfortable with the King's Gambit, so my idea is going to be to get as many pieces off the board as possible. I think what I'll do is I will look to castle king side, potentially, and then move forward from there with that as my game plan. Something like c6 will be a good start, potentially. I've lost that pawn back now, that is fine. Bd7, Bg7. My opponent is developing two quite powerful bishops over there on the f-file at the moment, and I wouldn't say things are worrying for me, although I'm certainly not as comfortable in this position as I would like to be. I'll play queen e7 and look to redirect my knight to the f6 square, although that may not be the appropriate time yet. Okay, so now is the time for the triple O, castle queenside. Okay, now what's next? Advancing down the board there. I think I'm spotting a little bit of a tactic here actually. So what I'll do is I want to play d5, and then expecting retakes with the pawn on e4 there, I will play retakes with my pawn on c5, and then after retakes with the bishop I will play bishop to f5. Hopefully that's how it works out. We will soon see. I may have miscalculated that, but nonetheless we'll have a go. d5 takes, expecting the retake with the bishop there. I have to say I was not expecting that actually. And it looks like I'm going to have to actually resign from this game because, of course, after king b8, my opponent will move his knight to f5, and that'll be a reveal check, meaning the only way to stop the check would be to sacrifice the queen. So that's actually going to be game over. I'll let you play that out just so that we can see how this all works. But, of course, on knight f5, it's pretty well game over. I will have lost my queen. There we go. So that revealed check is game over. A really quick one for tonight, so I think I'll actually play another one after that. Might offer my opponent a rematch. Challenge failed, unfortunately. Alright, well, we'll start a new challenge, a new 5-minute game. Here we go again, round 2. My opponent starts with d4, I'll play d5, something I'm a bit more comfortable with, and I'll take on dc4. I really wanted to play the Albans counter gambit there by playing e5, but we weren't receiving that move this time, that's okay. Play e6 now, slightly passive move, but preventing the advance of that pawn to the d5 square. Be7 now, so that if e5, I can simply play knight 2. He's taken back on c4, that's not a problem considering that pawn was already a gambited pawn, and he's simply taken it back. No big deal. Play Nbd7 now, again protecting that knight on c6, Cf6. We'll play h6 now, looking to kick that bishop back or have it take. He declines to take. So we'll play Ng4, we'll see if we can actually kick it further. Yep, that's allowed the take there. Fairly happy with this at the moment. I'll actually redirect my knight through f8 over to the g6 square. And after this move, castles. I was expecting that there. Retakes. And now I've saved that pawn by moving my queen to e8. Okay, we'll play b6. Getting this bishop into the game with ba6. And hopefully this enables a move like bishop to d3, depending on where he withdraws that queen to. Okay. Rook c8 now. Now we play Bd3 and look to aggress upon that knight on the e4 square. Obviously I've left that pawn on a7, which I think is fine given that I'm threatening the pawn on, the knight on e4. I may even look to, okay, perhaps not. I was going to say I may look to play something like a6. Well, maybe I still will play a6 actually. Alright, let's take a look at how that works out at the moment. a6, protecting the pawn there from the queen by advancing that pawn and protecting it with the bishop on d3. I'm wanting to drop back now to kick the queen away, but I don't really see much benefit in doing so at the moment. Okay, benefit or no benefit, I will drop that back. And now let's drop the bishop there back to d8. Simply so that I can reveal a defense on that pawn on e6 with my queen currently on e8. A dangerous move actually would have been for my opponent to play a4. I missed that, didn't see that at all. No matter. We'll reject those moves now and prevent them by playing a5. Okay, interesting move there, Nd6. I don't like that it's forked my knight and my queen and my rook. But what about I ignore this altogether and actually play a4? I think I will play a4. Having trouble calculating that out in my head, but let's see how it goes. So I'm expecting something like knight takes on e8. After knight takes on e8, I will simply take that queen with my pawn. This is if it happens. And then after he tries to flee back to... Oh, okay. Really interesting game here. I must say I was not expecting much of this at all. Looks like I have lost that rook there on c8. Not bothering me at this stage. A knight for a rook, although he did trade a fairly good knight off the board for a moderate at best rook. I think we'll play queen d7 again. I realise I'm shuffling this queen around a fair bit. Be7, giving some more laterality along the 8th rank to my rook. Oh, I see, he's actually sacrificed a rook there. I must have missed that. Now Queen d5, looking to sacrifice my rook on the f3 square, and then upon retakes with the pawn, retakes with my queen. Hopefully to get in the game, get some action there. Although, actually, that may not be the best move because it would allow the rook to take that pawn on the c6 square. Okay. I think he's seen that as a possible threat, so we'll now play rook c8. Okay, I'll advance that c5 pawn. Now, expecting a retake with one of his pawns here, either the d pawn or the b pawn. Either way, I'll be retaking with my own pawn, and then if retakes with that pawn, interesting. No retake. So be it. Queen b3. Queen b1 check. Now let's see where this leads to. I'm going to drop back to Queen b3 again, expecting another check. No check. Okay, bishop takes back on c5. Now I'm lining up on the e3 square, and I don't know how this will be defended against. Queen takes on e3. Queen's forced to retake. Retakes again with check. Time now for me to get some pieces off the board, I think, if possible. I'd really like to trade these rooks off. Not seeing options for doing this at the moment. Okay. Not many options here. Really rushing quite now. Okay, Queen. Ooh. I simply don't know what's next. Timeout for me. Alright, look, I think that game was, obviously after that move, rook takes a3, that was a one game, but that move was only because there was no time left on the block. I understand that. Really got my heart rate up there at the end. Okay, look, I've actually used my analyses for today. I've not got premium membership at the moment, so I'm not able to run a second one, so we won't get into that for today, but you can see that a couple of these moves I really could have played a little bit better towards the end there. So flicking back along. These moves here, rook g4 for example, check, that was just simply played to try and keep the momentum up, keep the movement going, but it really had no tactical advantage that I could see. After rook c7, I think probably what I should have done was actually drop back to rook d7, but I don't know, the analysis would suggest that maybe that's the case, but we can't run that at the moment. Again, rook d4, not ideal. Possibly what we should have done is played rook d3, and then after, let's have a look at that now, rook d3, Oh, pardon me, that's a mistake actually, because of course rook takes. But I think you get the idea of what I was potentially going for there. It's just maybe either a perpetual check on these last few ranks, or looking to check my way to an attack on the h4 square. In fact, something which might work is rook d3, check again. Now I'm attacking the h4 pawn and also simultaneously defending the pawn on a4. Obviously time was a factor here, so that couldn't be achieved at the moment, but so be it. We'll learn to play faster, we'll learn to play better. It's another long game, 58 moves that time, but look, I guess not much more to say than that. Alright guys, sorry about the lack of analysis today, hopefully that's fine. Look, if you liked the video, please give it a like. If you didn't like the video, please let me know what I could do to improve. But otherwise we might call it there for this evening, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, bye.